UFC former champion Tyron Woodley calls out Canelo Alvarez, "I was born ready," and Canelo responds to him. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, Canelo Alvarez getting ready for his fight November 2nd with Sergey Kovalev. He was challenged recently by UFC fighter Tyron Woodley, former champion, who, randomly put his bid out there and says he would like to fight against Canelo Alvarez in a boxing match. And if he connects, lights out. He thinks he can beat Canelo. I don't know why, but he basically said it sounded like Tyron Woodley had respect for Canelo, has respect for him as a fighter, and is basically saying, I would want to challenge myself with the best available and the best guys out there, which is why he picked Canelo. Canelo recently responded. He did an interview with Univision, and I'm just going to paraphrase, but Canelo Alvarez basically said that he's willing to fight Tyron Woodley. He says he doesn't really see no challenge getting smoked with a UFC fighter, but if it represents good business, even though it's not a challenge for him to box a UFC guy, he would do it, So that's the latest. I want to give kind of my thoughts on the whole scenario. Make sure you smash the like button. I never really put too much thought into it because it's just totally random that he did the interview. Woodley did the interview with TMZ, but I would watch it. It seems to be that this is kind of what's going on. There's a lot of clout chasing in boxing, and there's a lot of people who are, jumping up in weight divisions or looking to make these crossover fights and just rant. That's the generation. You got two YouTubers fighting again on DAZN, KSI, Logan Paul, and that's just kind of where we're at with, I guess, combat sports. You've seen at one point TJ Dillashaw and Gervonta Tank Davis going back and forth, and I think it's pretty ironic that Floyd Mayweather was the person who came up with the ingenious plot to make a lot of money in the game with Conor McGregor, two showmen, and he seized the opportunity. He's seen that Conor McGregor was rising in star power, and he knew he could get the people convinced that he would lose and rock with Conor McGregor based on his ability to sell and his mouthpiece. And he made the Conor Mayweather-McGregor fight, and it did great numbers. So the thing that's ironic to me is that when Floyd Mayweather was fighting Conor McGregor, the usual suspects and the detractors had nothing but negative things to say. Floyd's ruining his legacy. He's ruining boxing. What a joke. And this, that, and the third. But again, since that point, we've seen several UFC fighters call out boxing fighters, or vice versa, boxing guys getting into it. Like I said, Tank Davis, TJ Dillashaw. And we even heard Oscar De La Hoya, after McGregor lost to Mayweather, on a podcast, De La Hoya said he would fight McGregor, come out of retirement. Now, Canelo, one of the people who at the time was being asked about Floyd Mayweather versus McGregor, he says basically it's a joke and it's a circus and this doesn't make sense and it's not good for boxing. But now he's talking about he would fight Tyron Woodley if it represents good business. This shit is beyond laughable, what old media continues to try to do. Again, Floyd Mayweather, they don't want to give him credit in a positive way. So they say he ruined boxing and the end of the world, and he's fighting Berto and McGregor. He went out like a punk, all this stuff. And then years later, a couple years later, now it's acceptable. Now you have Canelo Alvarez, a champion at 160 and 168, talking about, I'm going to light heavyweight to fight Sergey Kovalev, a fight that DAZN hasn't even really been promoting. And not only is he leaving the division instead of fighting the ready-made guys that are kind of right there for him, he's responding to a UFC fighter who is willing to come to boxing and has recently called him out. So it's just funny to see that when Mayweather was, you know, the innovator and the initiator of some of these different things, he was met with a lot of resistance, and now it seems to be the norm. When Mayweather told Pacquiao to take the drug test, people actually ridiculed Floyd Mayweather for that. They said he's scared, he's health comes first Floyd, what a pussy, fight Pacquiao, why are you making excuses, fuck the drug test, you should fight him regardless. And now so many people since that point have been caught like with failed drug tests, and it's drug testing is kind of the norm in the sport. So it's just funny to see how many things Floyd Mayweather has influenced and how the double standards really work. Again, if Canelo fights Tyron Woodley, it's interesting. Tyron Woodley has power. It'll be a kind of a crossover fight, but I think Canelo really should. It's funny he's not responding to Demetrius Andrade, who says, where are your cojones, where are your balls, calling them out constantly. He's not really saying anything, but now if it represents good business, he'll do it. But when it comes to Andrade, he's saying Andrade is very boring. A lot of double standards, people. Yeah, Andrade's too boring, even though that's a fight that actually makes sense for you to fight. But you're okay with Tyron Woodley. Again, if he fights Tyron Woodley, I'll watch it. I'm a boxing fan. I like some of the UFC stuff too. So it is what it is. I don't know how likely it is.
I'm not sure.
That was creepy. Man, I gotta turn this shit off, man. This Alexa should be listening. I don't like that. But anyway, it's something to do. I'll watch it. But I think Canelo should really like refocus his career. You know, he's leaving 60 and 68 where the talent pool is pretty thick. Lots of great fights. David Benavidez, Caleb Plant, Demetrius Andrade, Jamal Charlo, Billy Joe Saunders. You know, tons of great fights. You know, some people even want to see the Triple G3 fight. And he's talking about fighting a UFC fighter if it represents good business. So, guess that's where we're at in combat sports. Let me know what you guys think. If you like what I'm doing, smash the like button. Check out some of my other videos. A lot of new content coming on the channel. Smash the like button. Hit the subscribe button. We working. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.